Well, I'd come out here and maybe give another update. It's been about not quite a month since I was out with the camera anyway. It's about 80 some degrees. It was about, I don't know, it's pretty humid out. I don't know what the heat index is. It's got to be around 95. We had storms last night, pretty hot and humid yesterday. Got up around 90 something. But anyway, I thought I'd come out here for a little while, let him swim for a little bit and update again. I had an update about, I don't know, around Father's Day I think it was, and I haven't even taken it out of the camera, out of the video camera yet, but I thought I'd come out here and spend a little time out here in the woods with the dog. But anyhow, the main thing is that, I don't know if you can hear me or not, my camera tripod broke. So I cut it over on that tree there. You probably can't even see me in this picture. But anyway, I'll hang out here for a few minutes, let the dog play, and give you a little bit of update. I've been working a lot. About an hour from home, maybe a little over an hour. I go down there and I work, and then I come back. I'm pretty tired at the end of the day, and in between times, if it's raining, I stay home and mess around on the internet, read things, and I haven't been getting out as much as I like, but it's alright. I gotta work to make a living too. So, anyway, thought I'd come out with Duke today for a little bit, maybe an hour or so. Let him run around. Like right now, he's in the trout stream over there swimming. I got some cold refreshments to sit here with. I've had this hammock. I think I've had this hammock for 35 years. I don't use it very often. Most of the time I put gear in it. But today I'm going to sit in it. That's my plan anyway. See how it works here. I got a pretty small tree. I don't know if it's going to hold my weight or not. But we'll set her up, see how it goes. But needless to say, the fun part about it is that I'm out in the woods. So, not quite high enough. Bring it up some. Yep, that's going to put me down in the weeds. So I'm going to bring her up higher. See what that does. Don't fall on my ass, I'll be fine. Yeah, that tree's bending a little bit because it's a little small, but I think it was bigger right now. So I'll sit here and relax for a few minutes. But, anyway, like I said, I don't know if I'm staying in the camera or not. But, oh, it's humid out here. Like I said, we had about 2 inches of rainfall. Thunderstorms come through about midnight. And so anyway, it's a little bit, my glasses are fogging up, as a matter of fact. Should have spit on them and cleaned them off, but that's alright. Well, I forgot my refreshment. Put this up too. There we go. No, this is mine. You got your own. Oh, look at you, got all them things all over you now. Oh, man. Well, I'll have to take care of that when we get back to the truck. Anyway, 4th of July was a good time. Most everybody I know had a good time. I did. Watched fireworks, and most of the time I want to get out here. I want to finish up some of the projects like the pump drill and the canoe paddle and some other things I want to get done, but haven't been up to it. Had a back problem there for a while, about, I don't know, 2.5 weeks ago. Today is the 13th of July today, Monday. And so about a month ago, the 21st, I believe, was around then was Father's Day. I think that was the last time I used this camera. And well, I was working, getting out in the woods with the dog once in a while, letting him go swimming and running around. Spent some time with my son, my oldest boy, Sam. We did a little fishing, a little talking, a little boating, backwaters of the Mississippi, and we planned on going up north, but it didn't work out that way. He only had a few days, and they had thunderstorms going through up there when we wanted to go, so we didn't want to go up there and mess around in the rain if we didn't have to. We wanted to spend as much time as we could out in the woods having fun. So it's what we did. We had fun just hanging out together, doing shit. But I guess the main thing is I still got my health and I'm working, so, and I'm not getting out in the woods as much as I want, but that'll change. That'll change. Work's going to last me another 3 weeks maybe, and then I got a slow period again, so I'll be back out in the woods more often, more time in the woods anyway, do some camping, stuff like that. It's been surprising. We had about like I said, about 2 inches of rain last night. About a week ago we had some storms come through. We dropped about 3.5, 4 inches around here. And what's amazing to me is the lack of mosquitoes this year. I mean, I'm out here right now. I've heard a couple buzz around my head, but I haven't been stung yet, or bit, whatever you want to call it. Just haven't seen a whole lot of skeeters or felt a whole lot of skeeters. That's a good thing. One thing I have noticed around here, it's really strange. I've been talking to my friends about it. I haven't been hearing any crickets. You know, this is even through June, and now we're in the middle of July, and I haven't heard a cricket yet this year. And I'm wondering what's going on with the crickets, because normally, I mean, right now you'd be hearing crickets and frogs and stuff. I've heard frogs, but not any crickets. So, well, I'm gonna stop rambling and try to collect my thoughts a little bit. I'm mad because this almost brand new tripod, I've only had it out in the woods about 5 times, broke on me, and now I got to fix it. So the camera's just sitting there on a cocked angle, and I tried to fix it with my Leatherman tool with a screwdriver, and gonna need something else. I have to fix it. I have to put some glue in there or something like that. But anyway, it pisses me off because it cost me $15 for a thing. Didn't last me. It probably wouldn't last me total time out in the woods 6 hours with that tripod. So I'm a little upset. I could make a better one out of wood. So anyway, I'll get back to you in a few minutes. I'm gonna drink this beer, have a cigarette, and wander around a little bit. Hopefully this thing will stay together before I shut it off. Yeah, see how it's wobbled. That's from the tripod broken. Anyway, here we go. Well, I'm gonna try this again here. I don't know. This is funny. I'm having to do like a balancing act with this little tripod thing. Trying to get to stay there. I don't know if you people can even hear me when I'm over here. I'm 10 foot away. I got no idea if you could actually hear me or not. I guess it doesn't matter, but it's either going to be a waste or not, because the speaker on that camera is so small and so low that you can hardly hear even when I play back to myself. So I don't know if you're going to hear me or not, but I'm still having fun out in the woods anyway, so it doesn't matter. I was just sitting here thinking, I had the camera off for about 15 minutes, and I'm just sitting here thinking about some things that I had been discussing on the bladesandbushlore.com forum. And there's a topic there, a discussion going on about the History Channel's show called Alone. Started out with 10 guys 4 episodes ago, about a month ago, and now they only have 6, I think, left now, and maybe 5. And one of the things that was discussed was about people, what they call tapping out. In other words, they give up. They call in to be rescued because they're afraid or something happens to them that makes it a very difficult chore for them to stay there. They're supposed to stay out there as long as they possibly can, up to a year, and the goal is $500,000 American, or U.S. dollars. It's a pretty good chunk of change, $500,000. And I look at it from a different point of view. When I come out to the woods, I've been coming out to the woods by myself, alone, other than with a dog maybe, but personally alone a lot. And not necessarily to go out and thrive and live out in the wilderness, just be out and practice some skills and enjoy being out. And this is my church, you know, the Church of the Divine Wilderness. I love being out here. I'd rather be out here without other people, to be honest with you. Sometimes, sure, it's fun to share the fun times when you're out, but at the same time, sometimes people can get on your nerves. So sometimes it's good not to be out with some other people. I would rather be out alone for a week than together with people for a week, probably. Over a weekend or a 4-day or something like that would be one thing. Well, I could probably put up with some people for a week. But most people probably can't put up with me for a week. So, anyhow, as far as the lone part, I was thinking about the first few guys that tapped out of there were tapped out because they were afraid of being mauled by a bear or a wolf or a cougar. And granted, the area they're in Vancouver Island, British Columbia, is supposedly got the most amount of black bears, which are not nice animals all the time, and a lot of cougars, painters, panthers, what do you want to call them, and wolf packs. I don't know how many wolves there are there, but it doesn't matter. But I can understand people being afraid of things that they are not familiar with, things that can kill you and eat you. I understand that. We have black bears around here. Not a lot of them where I live here in southeastern Minnesota. We have some cougar around here too. We actually occasionally have a moose wander around down here. We do have wolves once in a while, but they're not predominant around here. The most dangerous things around here probably are domestic hogs that have gone feral for some reason, which is about 10 miles from here. There was some that got loose, but they pretty much killed them all. And wild dogs. Coyotes ain't so bad, but wild dogs. People that drop their dogs off on a country road, and then they find another dog, another farm dog or whatever, and all of a sudden they're all hanging out in a pack. And that's about 50 miles to the west of me. They had a big problem with that a few years ago, but the farmers all got together and they went out and they eradicated the problem. And even out in the woods with Duke once in a while, I encounter a dog or two that doesn't belong out here. But Duke's pretty tough guy. You don't let him hang around too much. Not 3 miles downriver from me, or down to my east a little bit, there was a big black bear was run over by a combine when they were picking corn a couple falls ago. And even in the local paper, there was pictures last year of a pair of cougars, mountain lion, panthers, painters, whatever you want to call them. They were south of here, and I've seen tracks just down the river here. Well, this is about 7 years ago. We saw big cat tracks, and it wasn't a lynx. It was a cougar. If people didn't believe us, we didn't have a camera. We'd just take pictures. We were out scouting for duck hunting in the fall, and we ran across them. We ran across bear scat out in the woods here where we deer hunt. But I think they're more afraid of us than we are of them. And to be honest with you, if I have to deal with one, I have to deal with one. If I don't, I don't. Now, I'm not surrounded by them like they are in this alone show, but I guess you have to be confident in yourself in a lot of ways. These guys have flares, they have pepper spray, they have a rescue beacon, and most every one of them either has a knife or an axe or both, and if they had to, they could make a spear if they wanted to. But I think most of them probably are psychologically psyched because not so much of some of them because of the predator aspect, but other ones I think are psyched out because of their families. And I kind of think about that in the sense that that's probably why they're out there, is to go out there and do this to make $500,000 so they can take care of their families in a better way. And understandably, $500,000 maybe not worth your life, but at the same time, you're doing a job to go out and with the possibility of getting killed or not surviving and making 500 grand. Picture the guys that are in, they're forest firefighters, they're smoke jumpers. They fly in a plane, they trust their lives to a parachute with a reserve parachute, and they're jumping into a hot spot area to go and fight a fire that's consuming thousands of acres. Sure, I don't think they generally drop them right in the middle of the fire, but they're in a dangerous situation, in unfamiliar territory, away from their families. And I'm sure, to be honest with you, that's one of the only things that I would say that I would be the most frightened of out in the woods, is a forest fire. Especially a forest fire driven by high winds, and they create their own winds. So, to me, it'd be a forest fire. And these guys up in Vancouver Island, I don't know that even has a. I don't even know they have forest fires up that way because it's supposed to be so wet all the time. I'd have to look at it and research it up. But I guess what I'm trying to go back to is the fear factor of what is your motivation, and what is your motivation to do it, and what is your motivation to get out of it. Because they can just make a phone call, a rescue call, and they can be out of there. So that's something I've been pondering about. The motivation of it. I commend all of them for doing something I've wanted to do all my life. I've wanted to do what they're doing. I would have loved to go to Alaska and live off the land on my own. I'd love to go to. I never would have picked Vancouver Island because I don't know that much about it now. Well, I do now because I've researched a little bit. But I would love to go to the Rocky Mountains and hang out, or up in northern Minnesota or Wisconsin or Michigan, or up in Canada. I would have loved to do that. I'm not so keen on the frickin' tropics and stuff like that. But anyhow, and my motivations long ago would have been, sure, I sure use $500,000, but at the same time, if I didn't have a family, I would do it because I want to do it. I think the word is it misanthrope? It doesn't really care whether they're around people or not. It doesn't want to be around people. Maybe I'm a misanthrope or a partial misanthrope. But there is one thing by my going. There's a little sidetrack here. Yeah, I'm bringing the dog with me, but the dog doesn't really do any. He doesn't have any skills to help me out here. Other than he can be like a guard dog or something like that. But, half the time he's playing like he is right in the water down there, so he doesn't even care. He's a house, he's a home dog, a hunting dog, but he's a home dog. He doesn't live in the woods, so he's not around other animals much. But he is very protective. So. He's an advantage for that. But other than that, he can't make a fire. He can't tote all my gear. He doesn't have no thumbs. He can't hold onto a knife or something, or tie a tourniquet or something like that. So, anyhow, going back to it though, you got to have the right mindset to be able to go out there and cope and be comfortable of your own company. And maybe some of these guys just never had that situation in their life where they had to be self-reliant on themselves alone and what they had in their head as far as knowledge and their skill level and what they practice and stuff like that. So I could elaborate on this for a while, but I guess what I'm trying to point out is that I don't think anybody should put the guys down that tapped out of this contest out of the fear, out of the mental part of it, because unless you've done it, you can't really comment on it. It's kind of like I mentioned on the forum, Blades of Bushlower forum. It's kind of like military basic training. If you go to military basic training and you can't hack it, you're usually set back, and then if you don't do it again, you can't make it again, you're out of there. You're in the Marine Corps, we call them baby blue Marines, but that was from the old saying back in the day when in World War II mostly. But you'd be given a set of blue civilian clothes by the Marine Corps, and that's what you'd be sent home in, so a regular uniform, a Marine uniform. Those guys have to go home and live with the fact that they didn't make it, and whatever the reason they made it. Health reasons is one thing. You break your leg or you break your arm or something, they give you the option. Usually, unless it's something that you cannot ever have duty, active duty, get a medical discharge, you might be set back for 6 months in the hospital or something until you're go back with training, or you bail out, you tap out. The whole thing behind basic training is stress, and that's what these guys are dealing with, is stress. And if you can't make it, you can't make it. But you can't feel sorry for the guys because they tried. At least they tried. There's a lot of guys out there that try to say that they're a combat veteran or a veteran of any kind, and they're not, and they never even tried. They never even went. Those guys are pieces of crap in my eyes. You know, that's a whole different discussion. But it kind of, if you look at it from that point of view, these guys actually went out there and they're trying to make some money and test themselves. So you got to really have some real kudos for these guys. You know, props, all these fancy terms. But I respect them for the fact that they even gave it a shot, even if it only lasted 24 hours. They gave it a shot. A lot of people don't even try. They don't even want to go out in the woods by themselves in their backyard, you know, in their neighborhood. You know, so it's one thing if you see somebody doing something that's really dumb, that's a bad safety thing or a bad judgment call. That's one thing to get on them about it. But to get on them about it for having some courage to at least give it a shot, you can't really get on them too much about that. You know, but if a guy goes out there and he's trying and he doesn't quit because he breaks his leg because he's dumb, and he does something really dumb that he shouldn't do, or if he gets if he falls in the fire and burns himself real bad because he didn't clear out away from the fire, so he didn't trip over his stuff. Or drinks bad water. One guy tapped out because he drank bad water. Hey, you just don't do that. It rains there enough that you can't tell me that this guy couldn't have taken a tarp and tied it to some trees and made a big catch basin and got his water out of there instead of drinking it out of a frickin'. I wouldn't even drink the water out of this trout stream without boiling. Simply because there's pesticides, but the trout live in it. That's pretty good water. But it comes out of an artesian well, which if you look at another video, you might see what I've shown. It comes out of the water in a big torrent. You know, almost shoots out of the water like a fire hose. But even there, I wouldn't drink it because I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in that water. I don't know where it came from exactly. So I haven't had it tested, so I don't know it. So I would boil it. Or trap rain. We'll find another way. But to make mistakes is one thing, but to have the courage to go out and try is another. And I guess I can sum it up with that. Anyway, I'm going to shut the camera back off again and take a break and see how much power I got left in that thing. But like I said, I don't know if you guys are hearing me or not, but I'm talking to the trees. So anyway, I'll try to check back here and see how the power is. Well, the power's dying. It's down. It's on red. Actually, the orientation of the camera is now like that, but I don't know what I pressed the wrong button or something. Anyhow, yeah, she's dying on me. So, well, like I said, I hope that I made some sense, and we'll have to see what happens. But anyway, y'all take care, and I'll be back again another time. See ya. Bye.